You can start with 3, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Great. So good morning. For the record, I'm Chris Young, Chair of the HDC's Sign Advisory Committee. Let's confirm access. Members respond with an aye. Paul Wolf.
Aye.
And Kevin Kuster.
Aye.
And for staff, Esmeralda Martinez.
Present.
This open meeting of the HDC's SAC is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12th, 2020. That order posted with the agenda materials for the meeting allows public bodies to leave so long as public access to deliberations is reasonably provided. This meeting is convening the comment, and materials provided to members for this meeting or during the meeting will, unless otherwise noted, be available on the town's website. During the meeting, I'll introduce agenda topics and speakers. Please mute your Zoom audio until your name's called, and direct comments and questions through the chair to avoid crosstalk and the taking of minutes easier. Votes will be conducted by roll call. So we'll call the meeting to order at 9:02 on August 1st, 2023. Do we have a motion to approve our agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Are you both in favor? Paul?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
All right, thank you. And for minutes, I don't believe we have minutes. Is that correct, Esmeralda? From the last meeting?
Mr. Chairman, I also want to note that Mark Catone is here.
Oh, Mark Catone, are you present?
Yes.
Great. So as far as approving minutes, I don't think
We don't have
minutes
minutes.
from the last meeting. Is that correct? Or did I
Nope,
miss
not
that?
yet.
Okay, so we'll skip
No.
that item. Is anybody on the line for public comments not related to an application? Okay, with none, we'll move to commissioner comments. Do any commissioners have general comments they'd like to make?
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Yes.
And I guess it's directed to Esmeralda. Have the roles of the staff changed between you and Billy, or it's not clear to me who's doing what?
Billy is still, sorry, through you, Mr. Chair, and Billy's still doing enforcement. And nothing really has changed other than he's taken over. He's still doing enforcement and taking other tasks, and I'm still taking over sign.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. So you can feel free to send anything to me or to Billy, or CC both of us.
Yeah, he did ask that I copy you when I send him something, so
Correct.
we'll just do that. Okay.
Yep, we're tag teaming.
Okay, thanks. Let's move on to new business. We have the application for Gypsy at Children's Beach, 7 Harborview Way. We have 2 applications here. Is anybody on the line to represent them? I'd seen Laura, I see you're on the line. Are you here for this application?
I'm here for Bro Denham's application in town.
Okay,
Mhm.
so not this one. All right.
I've seen.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman,
thanks.
through you, I don't
Yes.
have Bro Denim on the agenda for today.
Okay, so Laura, was that application submitted? Is it in
It
the
was-
office? Do you know?
Yeah, it was submitted early last week and they told me to attend this meeting for it.
I was not aware.
Okay. Laura, I apologize. We can only work on what's on the posted agenda, so I'm not sure where your application is in the sort of process of being put through
Okay.
the office. Maybe just give them a call.
Okay, yeah, because she
uh,
went through everything and said I had everything and to attend this meeting to discuss it. She showed me the link and whatnot and all of that to log on to it. So does that mean that I'd have to wait another 2 weeks?
It would be the next meeting that we have will be in 2 weeks. I'm sorry to say. I mean, we just don't have even your application on our, view pack. So I'm not sure if it missed the deadline or that's not really in our
No, I brought it over a week ago.
purview.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm
Do you
sorry,
know, do you know what number I call or who I should reach out to?
Mr. Chairman, through you.
Yes, Esmeralda.
Reach out to me. I'm the one that sets up the agendas and I was not aware of this application had come into the office. So
Okay,
usually staff up front process them and then they're supposed to let me know, again, since I'm the one that controls the agendas.
Mhm.
You can reach out to me if you call the office, or I can give you my email after the meeting.
okay. All right. So is that okay if I leave the meeting then, if my application
yeah.
is? Okay, great.
Yeah,
Thank
all right,
you.
thank you.
Bye.
right. Bye. Okay, so for Gypsy, we don't have anybody on the line. Let's look at each one of these then. There's the, if you could scroll down here, we've got the projecting sign, right?
Correct. This is their projecting sign they're proposing.
Okay, so it is, let's take a look. It's 36 by 36 would be 9 square feet. That's going to be much larger than the allowable size. Let's see. Can you, scroll down so we can all see the location. Okay, this looks to be more of sort of a freestanding sign. Did any members have a chance to review this on site? I have not.
Chris,
Paul,
Paul, I think I initiated this because they had sandwich boards out on the corners of several streets. And I think Billy took care of that. And then I pointed out that this gypsy sign, I think, is on the side of the building now, but I can't tell what size it is. I don't recall. So I don't know. It's not a projecting sign. I thought it was a wall sign. It was up there, but I don't know any more than that.
okay.
I would say we need more information.
Right. Yeah, I'm seeing the in the application. I mean, it's not the sign itself. You just scroll down to the last page, Esmeralda, is not it looks like it's an approvable design, or at least it's reasonable. We could discuss that, but location wise, it's very hard to tell from these photographs. And the description on the application says in planter right hand side with 2 wooden posts.
Oh,
So that
that clarifies.
Sort of suggest, yeah. So their season
Well,
is getting short. I imagine if 2 weeks goes by before our next meeting, it's going to be virtually the end of the children's beach season. But I don't know if any other commissioners. So let's go around the horn. I don't think we can act on this if it's a freestanding sign being applied for as a projecting sign. But Mark, do you have any comments?
I would just agree with what's been said. It'd be great, one, if we had representation. 2, it's not exactly clear where this is in context, from what I can gather. So I'm inclined to kind of hold this over until we have a little bit more information. And I was going to add to that. I do agree that the graphic itself, however, appears to be okay. I don't understand. I didn't see the materiality or how it's manufactured, but I don't have a sense of, it does appear to be a freestanding, which would be a little challenging. So thank you.
All right, thanks, Kevin.
Nothing really to add. I think we need representation.
Okay, Paul.
I would just add that it doesn't meet the guidelines. There's two examples of people holding up a sign and they're different, so I don't know what that means. So yes, hold.
Okay. Would somebody like to make a motion?
Motion to hold.
Motion to hold. Second that then.
Second.
Okay, we'll give Kevin. Paul, a second. Mark, you're in favor? And Kevin, And
Aye.
Paul,
Hi.
okay. All right, so we'll hold that for representation. And the next sign is a menu board. Same applicant. Well, this is interesting. It says wall sign on their application.
Well, that's what
Wording
it
on-
is.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Sorry. I was picturing a sandwich board. Okay. So these are obviously installed. We've got two, size wise, they are 24 by 36. So let's go around the horn. I'll do Kevin, Paul, Mark. Kevin.
It seems large to me, and not sure why we need two of them on the exterior anyway. That's all.
Okay. Paul.
Yeah, I've seen this one as well. I've been there. It's I'm a little torn because it's not visible in any public way unless the water is a public way. It faces the beach. You can't see it from the road. You can't see it from walking in. But it's too big, and I don't know if we would have any vision for a menu board screwed to the side of the building. I'm not sure if that meets our guidelines or not.
Okay. Yeah. And it is two separate menus, by the way, just looking at the photographs zoomed in. So it's not a repeat of itself. Just FYI. Mark. Oh, sorry. Meaning the one on the door is separate, has a whole separate list of items from the one on the wall.
I can see that now. Yeah.
Yeah. Mark.
Yeah, I mean, I think Paul maybe brings up a solid point. I don't know how visible these are. That said, I think they're oversized. They don't really comply with our general guidelines. I mean, I think even when things aren't truly visible, they're supposed to in generally comply with our guidelines. It just negates sometimes the need for the application, I think. But you know, if we get some representation, I think there could be some further discussion on these. And I don't know, this is a tough location. I always kind of feel for the tenants in this space. This really has nothing to do with signage, but it's a challenging space for people to know you're there and what you offer. And maybe this is a town-owned property, if I'm not mistaken. You know, was there a larger discussion at some point? I think there's a sign for Children's Beach, like out where they were putting their sandwich board. I don't know if at some point, it's not going to happen this season, but is there a discussion with the town to actually get a proper, maybe it's some sort of a sign that we could get comfortable with that would allow the tenant to have an identification on it to let people know that there is a restaurant back there, and maybe there's even a small menu box type situation. Maybe it's a fence sign. I don't know. I'm not going to design this at the table here, but this is kind of ongoing. I feel like we run into this constantly with whatever new tenant is in this space over the last 10 years or so. And maybe we can come up with something that's a little bit more useful for tenants in a long-term situation and working with the town there. And I walk by this almost every day. So maybe today I'll look at it again on my way back, see if there is something that might work down the road. But for now, I'm inclined to sort of hold this for further discussion with the applicant.
Okay, thanks, Mark. I agree with you. I think that this site is a problem. You know, Paul, to your point, these signs are hard to see, so I'm sort of, willing to be lenient with the interpretation of the guidelines because of that, and the fact that this business is only open for 8 weeks, it seems, and it's hard. It has very poor visibility, but at the same time, we don't want to just allow precedent to cause a problem down the road. So I like your idea, Mark. I think working with the town maybe to come up with a master sign plan for this property that lets all future tenants have some signage and know what the sign,
Yeah, sort of like a master
Signage,
sign plan.
allowable
if
signage
you
would
will.
be is a good
Yeah.
idea. On it, yeah. And the reality of this is that if this applicant comes here in 2 weeks and then we have some kind of a hold for revision because they want to, realistically, it's going to be after the season before this gets through our process. So let's hopefully work with them and then turn it over to the town. I think that's a good idea. Try to get the town to, I don't know how long this lease is for with Gypsy, but that would be good to do. Do any other commissioners have comments before we?
Yeah, I would just add,
Yes.
to what Mark had said, that, the town has put up a sign in a similar situation that directs people down to Jetties. It just says restaurant and tennis and something or other. So there is a precedent for doing that, and I think that would be the way to help this out.
Right. And I haven't been down to Surfside Beach this year to the food concession, but I would imagine there's something similar to this on the side of that building, just as an example, as far as wall signage with the menu on it. So these things do exist.
Yeah, they do. And it's an
So-
interesting point, Chris, just if I may quickly, that, these food trucks are everywhere. And they're really kind of fall outside our purview, if you will, because they're moving vehicles, but they have signage just like this. It's really no different. So it's just an interesting observation. And with the food trucks, we're seeing a lot of sandwich board that pop up out in front, these plastic with the
Right.
menus and so on. And it's kind of interesting. I mean, I think you've seen the one certainly at the Rotary this summer.
Right.
Um,
So
Anyway,
all right. So let's hold this one for representation, it sounds like, as well.
yeah.
Somebody like to
Motion
make that
hold
motion?
for representation.
Second,
All right, Kevin, are you in favor?
Aye.
And Paul?
Aye.
Mark?
Aye.
Okay. Well, that gets us through this burdensome agenda that we had today. Any other enforcement questions or comments? Is that more for Billy Esmeralda or?
Nothing that has come up to my attention other than he's been tackling all the enforcements that you guys keep sending. And I've signed lots of violation notices this week, but other than that, I think it's all good. Yeah, nothing crazy going on.
Okay, thanks. Any commissioners want to comment? Okay, I should be careful. We're not commissioners, are we? We're just members. I think we have commissioners' comments, but technically I don't want to get in trouble. Any members want to comment? All right. Motion to adjourn, anybody?
Motion to adjourn.
second,
Sorry, may I ask
Oh,
before
yes,
you adjourn,
Esmeralda.
are we meeting 2 weeks from now, or should we follow the same schedule? I know this was like a special circumstance because of last week.
Well,
It's 9:20.
Actually-
We lose Chris.
that would probably to the benefit of that woman, Laura. Any thoughts? Oh, sorry. I don't know. Can you hear me again?
Now we
Yeah,
got,
no.
Okay, sorry, guys. I was just saying, do we want to get back onto this regular schedule, and that might help that applicant that was expecting to be here this week? Doesn't matter to me. I don't know how that would then in turn, will that screw us up around Labor Day? I'm not sure what our schedule would be like after that. Actually, that would help us get back on track. So we would then be off for Labor Day, I think.
Okay, so we're talking about meeting next week.
Does that work for everybody?
that's fine
Yeah.
with me.
It's fine.
Yep. Okay, let's do it next week.
Sorry, I'm going to hold my motion real quick just to ask a question through the chair to Esmeralda. Sarah Lewis reach out at all? She had contacted me yesterday about signage for the
She-
car
she
show, I guess,
did.
this weekend.
She did reach out.
Yeah,
I
a
told
little
her
late, but
it's a little bit too late. I couldn't put her on the agenda, but for,
Yeah.
if this is gonna be a every annual thing, definitely reach out with like at least, I don't know, 6 weeks notice,
right.
just so we can get all the paperwork in order.
Yeah. So just for the members, Sarah Lewis is assisting some of the people putting together the car show, I think on Sunday, up by the high school, behind the high school, somewhere there. And they were hoping to put a banner, I think along the fence of the Boys and Girls Club, and then a car with like a sign on the windshield itself to help direct people. So if you see those this weekend, don't be thoroughly alarmed. It was mentioned and they were hoping to have a conversation with us, but I think they got lost track or didn't understand the timing, as Esmeralda said. So hopefully indeed next year, if it's a successful event, they do it again, we'll get some proper application in place for temp signage. But just a note that they did reach out, just a little too late.
All right, thanks. So we had Mark making a motion to adjourn. Did anybody second that?
Second,
Paul, Kevin, are you in favor?
Aye.
And Paul,
aye.
Mark,
All right.
I am as well. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Have a good week.